Good evening, everybody. Yo, how is everyone? Evening. Happy early Thanksgiving, since I will not be seeing my on. That was one thing my Facebook announcement today let not going to be having our ordinary Red Dead Redemption stream on Thanksgiving. So next week's Thursday is off for you to spend your time with your family and your dinners. So please do that. Good for me. Um, Beyond that, we are still doing Monday. Still doing Mass Effect Monday, and we are starting Mass Effect 3 Monday evening. Usual time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we are also, the plan at least is, hopefully we have our issues, tech issues. The plan is to also have my live stream discussion with Sound Malone from Foundation for Education on free speech, hate speech, if such a thing said be a separable category and all of that. That is set for Wednesday night at 8:30 next week. Some of what we have. In the meantime, I am just wrapping up my last actual week before spring break and my last actual week in person in class, which is rough. I honestly say I do not like the whole online-only transition thing, but it does, I will say it has its appeal. My commute to my office is much, much shorter to either school. So there's at least that, which is something. Special coffee tonight as well. I feel like I always lead off these streams talking about coffee. This one is fresh, home roasted by a student of mine. He's watching, he knows this, and I thank you extensively. Absolutely delightful. I'm glad to have students who are so talented in ways beyond my particular class. Oh, and Kylie, glad you came from today. I did have my last in-person actual class today. I did the thing where I said I would. I was going to have everybody who was welcome, everybody who wanted to be in class was in class today, which still was not very many, but you know what? Something. I'm glad it was at least something. Better. I'm glad it was at least something, and I'm glad glad at least some people had the opportunity to get out of the house a little bit, do something with some other real. I apparently yes. So Kylie says I became a vlogger for the day. Yeah. Predictably, we had technical issues with Zoom classroom camera, so I was using my phone like this with Zoom for about half of the class until IT came by and quite aptly and quite readily fixed it by doing I probably should have and reset the computer, and I think something else. He was messing with some as well, so I'm sure it wasn't that simple. Something like so easily done. But again, yeah, it got resolved, but not before I wandered around the classroom holding a phone up in horizontal orientation, for a solid almost half of the class. So that worked out okay. A long run. I am delightfully looking forward to a nice barbecue that I'm going to be having with and for my students. If any of you are, even if anybody is watching this or watching this back and you're in the area, current, former student, or otherwise, Kylie, you included, obviously, if you're around and if you're wanting to, of course, feel free to come by. Message me privately for location information and all of that, and I'd be absolutely happy to give it if you're around the area. You happen to be around for, like I said, for a nice laid-back barbecue. Oh, you do have a ride, and you will be there. Oh, fantastic! I'm glad to hear that. So, the turkey is on the smoker as we speak. So it has been now for several hours, and it will be for several more hours. Erica is keeping an eye on it just to make sure nothing goes horribly wrong. Hey, Jack.
How you getting on, son?
So far, it's
Fine,
going.
sir.
What are you doing?
I already had the
Reading.
giblets.
And,
Doesn't
playing with the dog.
You want to go fishing or something?
Not particularly. I don't really like fishing.
Do like eating, though, right? Because we got to find some food.
Okay, Dad.
Come on. Let's head this way to the stream.
Okay, sir.
Why you got to be like that?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you wish I was more like you?
Like me? No. But let's keep going.
Can Rufus come fishing?
Dogs scare the fish. But if you'd like him to, I guess.
So, you don't care if we don't catch fish?
Yeah, I'm not very good at this.
At fishing or walking?
At talking with you.
What's up, kiddo?
Fishing will be fun.
Sure.
Unless you want nothing but beans again.
No. I'd like to fish.
And it'll be pretty fun, I promise.
Okay.
It's fine being out with you, even though I can't say the right thing.
And you, Pop.
We should... Let's do more of this.
Sure. I mean, yes. I'd like that.
Pretty countryside, ain't it?
I guess.
Grass and the light. There's a lot of ugly in this world, but sure as hell is a lot of beauty.
Yes.
You'll see it better when you get older.
Sounds a bit like
Tough at your
Evelyn Mill.
age. Just
Yeah, the guy who we met
land
last
and
time.
light. But to me, it's life. I can't explain it.
Okay.
What are you gonna be when you're older?
I want to travel. See the world.
That's a good idea.
Then become a lawyer and help people.
That's not a lawyer. That's a...
Are you laughing at me?
No. Never. Just... whatever you do it better than me and your mom. We had it. However we had it. We didn't make the most of it until now.
Okay.
Okay. This is a real good fishing spot.
Folk always say that. And hours later, they've caught nothing.
Ain't you just the leading authority on everything?
Well, ain't it so?
Well, maybe. In this case, it's true. I hear there's some real big fish in here. Big old steelheads. Hard to catch, but real good eating.
I do
Hard
love
to
steelhead
catch.
trout.
Get your excuses in early.
That dog of yours know he's owned by a complaining know-it-all? Come on, son.
I'm sorry.
No, you ain't. It's all right. Come on, let's fish.
Uncle Jose, he was the fisherman, wasn't he?
That's right.
I remember Uncle Arthur taking me, though.
Arthur taught you how to fish now, did he?
Huh. Yeah. I suppose he did.
That's nice.
I got a bite. I got a bite.
All right. Now, stay calm and start reeling them in. Not too fast.
Do love
set
steelhead,
the
by
hook
the way.
in tight.
Steelhead is one of my...
He's strong.
definitely my favorite freshwater fish.
Now, reel them in. Stay calm. Give him a tug. Now reel.
Bass and...
I got him.
you know what? We're supposed to be keeping.
What do you think? How you feel?
I don't know. Thanks, Dad.
I told you this was a good fishing spot.
You did. Hey, my trip with Arthur, I remember now. I picked some flowers, and a couple of men showed up, dressed like they was from the city.
No one like that's gonna show up here. Thank the Lord.
Where's Rufus?
I don't know. Relax. He's a dog.
Where is he, though?
I don't know.
I'll go find him. Rufus! Come on, boy!
All right.
Rufus!
Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's going wrong.
Let me come help you look.
Well, let's see then.
Rufus! 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 Well, this ain't like him, Pa. Can you go search the other side of the track?
Yeah, all right. Let's go see if we can find Rufus. Wait, where'd Jack go?
Rufus! Come on! Rufus! Rufus! No! It's a snake!
I see.
He bit him!
Calm down, boy. And Jack, you calm down too. Come here.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, Pa? Keep going! Dad!
Oh, that's
Rufus, no!
such an unpleasant.
Well, spit it out!
Yeah, okay.
Is it all out?
Ugh. That also, I don't
He's gonna
think that
die.
actually
He's gonna
works,
die.
but
He'll
okay.
be okay. We just gotta get him somewhere warm and calm.
He's gonna die.
Go get the fishing rods and the fish. I'm taking the dog home.
Poor Rufus.
Abigail, can I get a hand?
What's going on?
Dog got bitten by a snake. Let's look after him. And the boy. Grab his rug.
Is it gonna be okay?
Jack, the dog is gonna be just fine.
We never should have gone fishing.
Sometimes you just don't know how things are gonna turn out.
It's true.
But the dog,
The dog's gonna be fine.
it's okay, son.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where you never know how things turn out. Don't do them, then you know how it's going to turn out. You're going to do nothing. Oh, speaking of snakes. Oh, geez. Hey, look, it's Sneaky Snake. Let's brush you, Snake. That's, unfortunate. Oop. Okay, that was weird. Let's shovel some. Yeah? Yeah. Some nice, pleasant, down home John Marston stuff. All right. Oh, wait, let's milk the cow while we're here, shall we? Got a moment. If anybody's bored of me doing chores around the farm, let me know. Go do something. I know there's not a lot of philosophical sophistication to cow milk. You were shoveling, you know. Is that right? Gotta do the down to earth kind of stuff. Water pump. Yeah, I gotta say, so the park down the road, when I'm having a barbecue at, doing a big ol' gathering type thing. Oh, one, it's outside, you know, so it's not like I'm genuinely concerned. Um, then also, it it's become almost a little safe haven for terms of the old norm. It's basically just this little island of sanity and the craziness we now mostly inhabit, especially I inhabit around university campuses. And I will say, because I live in Florida, it is nice living in Florida. Where are you going, John? What in the world is happening? It is nice being in Florida because there is not much of the there's not a lot of the same lockdown type restrictions there are in other less fortunate parts of the country, which is nice, which is actually it's wonderful and delightful. The problem is that I also spend most of my time on one of two university campuses, and university campuses are some of the most restrictive places there are right around, due to a combination of kind of academic hubris of academics being, and especially administrators being the type of people who just sort of instinctively think that they know what's best about just, nearly everything. Oh yes, Kylie, I will get you the address. Find that and get that shortly. Next time my hands are off the controls for a moment, I will find the address and I'll send that. No problem. But yeah, it's one of those where university administrators have, it's kind of a perfect storm of a kind of fatal conceit of thinking that you can and should control basically everything, everything that can be controlled, and then at the same time, a pretty extreme fear of lawsuits, which is a big problem for university. All set. And those two things together really just lead to trying desperately to prevent any semblance of danger. Where if you're gonna go out fishing with your dog, there's a chance your dog's gonna get bit. It's just that sort of thing. And this park, I absolutely adore this place. It has like I said, it's been a kind of refuge, sanity, an old normalcy, if you will. It's got signs up in a few places of things like use park facilities at your own risk due to the pandemic, like that. And it's like, you know what? This place can fit so much personal responsibility. Really appreciate that. Because really, people being able to determine their own risk levels is kind of where we have to go with this sort of thing. I would not be terribly surprised if I had already caught the coof at some point. I would not be surprised at all. Because I got a nasty cold and flu symptoms and things in February.
Pa, I wish I'd met your pa.
Trust me, you ain't missed much.
Huh.
I'm older than you was when he died, right?
Yeah. Don't worry. I ain't going nowhere.
Well, yeah. It's good, though. Alright, what else we got? Supposed to go now. Chore. Abigail. Let's do chore first. Then we'll go meet Abigail. For a thing. But yeah, I mean that it's one of those things where I think that I've mentioned this before, that to my knowledge, and this was I haven't checked in the last week or so, but I doubt anything has changed. There has been literally one death with coronavirus, not of, with coronavirus, among university students nationwide. Yes, it is a dangerous disease, especially for a lot of people, especially for extremely vulnerable people and all of that. Yeah, fair enough. The trouble is that most college students don't fit into that demographic of vulnerable people, and they're some of the most heavily affected by stringent. And it's tragic. Honestly, what a lot of these restrictions are doing to students. Because I've talked to my own students, and you guys can probably attest to this, and others can as well, that it's like in a lot of cases, students don't even quite, I guess, conceptualize school as something they go to and do. University is something they go. It was like when I was talking about the there were the protests on USF campus a few weeks ago. Ago now or so, and this was one of the shocking things about it to me was that nobody even realized, none of the students there who were protesting and yelling and screaming even realized that anyone was having classes on campus. They just assumed that it was online only or just nothing. They were just there to it's that kind of thing. And it's the university environment kind of falling apart, and that's not something students deserve. I mean, there's a lot of even academics in the sort of right-leaning world, if you will, I guess, sell stuff. That's cool. Nice, $8. And especially a lot of people who are skeptical of the excesses and the sort of wrongheadedness of a lot of modern academia, which I know that's fair. That's fair. There are criticisms to be had of a lot of modern academia and a lot of a lot of the academic tendencies, and a lot of the ideas. Just a lot of it. There are severe problems in academia, but at the same time, that doesn't. There's a throwing the baby out with the bathwater problem. That there's a real danger of the academy disappearing. I do think that. Let me put it this way. I am not one of those STEM worshippers, or even trade school type. Yeah, yay, go do trade school stuff. No, it's not really my thing. I think that's probably good for a lot of people, and that's fine. We should ease off on the whole. You definitely got to go to thing, maybe. But at the same time, I'm a big proponent of useless degrees. I absolutely think that a philosophy degree or a degree in history or the liberal arts generally are a good thing that are worth pursuing for their own sake, not because it's an investment, because gonna make more money because you have your degree. Because quite frankly, you might not. You probably will, but I don't know if it'll be worth the 4 years of your life, 4+, I guess, your life, and the extreme cost at a lot of universities. It may not just be worth it for a lot of people, and that's fine. But what else, as an investment, right? A lot of degrees are, if they are an investment, they're a bad investment. But I don't see a college education as an investment. Again, because like I said, if it's an investment, in a lot of cases, it's not a good one. I say a college degree as an education. It's knowledge for knowledge's sake, and that's really all there needs to be to it. It's learning something like philosophy, whether that's through formal academia, which I do think certainly has its place, or if it's through something less formal, like watching a philosopher talk about philosophy on a live stream of a cowboy game, this kind of thing. Whichever the case might be, I think that kind of a philosophical education is very, very innately valuable, and it's something that damn near everybody should pursue. It's just maybe not something that you should spend 6 digits and several years pursuing. At least not for everyone. Most people will not wind up net gaining from spending $50,000 in 5 years or whatever on a liberal arts degree.
No, you be quiet. I'm having a moment of repose. Well, you should be working.
Oh, I've done my work.
Not how
Oh,
I've
Uncle.
heard it.
Oh, you should be grateful.
I'll be grateful when you get off your behind.
Oh,
Shoot
Um,
yourself.
oh, shoot myself.
But yeah, I do. So I think of education as a kind of end good. It's a consumption good. It's a luxury. It's something it's something that I think is best done when you can afford it,
I'll tell you what, woman, was a damn sight
rather
more
than
people around here before
taking out
you
loans
came
for
back.
it and thinking
You're
of
just
it
lucky
as
I'm
an
a
investment
soft
and that
touch.
sort
I
of
should
thing.
sling it out by your ear.
Ah, you always was a cold-hearted lizard of a woman.
But I do think there is a real danger of the academy just sort of going away
Work, old man.
with this,
got
or at least
lumbago.
being
You'll have more
reduced
than that in a minute.
significant.
John, tell her about my health.
Do what the lady says.
I've worked my fingers to the bone building this place, Abigail Roberts.
Marston! Abigail Marston. Miss Marston to you.
Miss Marston to you.
Why you let him stay?
He's actually been pretty useful, in a useless sort of way.
Huh.
Who's that?
No idea.
Friend or foe?
We'll soon find out. It's the Geddes boys.
From Pronghorn Ranch?
Yeah.
Mr. Milton! Mr. Milton!
Duncan!
Sir, Ma found some old furniture in the attic. I thought maybe you folks wanted as a housewarming present, you know? They send
Nice.
their regards.
How kind they are. Tell your mom and pa we're very touched.
Where would you like the furniture?
Just over here. Then we can arrange. This is real kind of y'all.
You
Oh, it's
saved
nice.
the ranch. Pa said this is the least he could do.
Well, that's about everything.
Send your pa my best regards. Tell him he's got friends for life in me and my family.
Bye, sir. Ma'am.
I can't believe this. It's so kind.
Sure. But there's still some more things that we need to get.
How about we take a ride into town? It's been ages since we spent any time together.
It has. Let's go get the wagon.
Nice.
Okay, let's go. I feel like we ain't done nothing together like this since
Since forever.
maybe not forever, but a long time.
We ain't had the time, you know? We both been working hard.
And now we got something to show for it. The ranch, this life. It's so nice, John.
I hope it'll only get nicer.
Come on, Abigail, let's go. Coming? Okay, there we go. All right. It's taking a little while. I don't know what's with the NPCs tonight. Not following properly. It's all right. She'll catch up. Wait, what? Oh.
May I help you, my lady?
Oh, John.
That's nice. That's so nice.
And now to Blackwater.
All right, let's go.
Is there anything you want to do?
You said there were some things we still needed.
We can buy them from that catalog. Let's go have some fun.
I know your idea of fun, John Marston.
I ain't had a drink and, well, I left those things behind me. No, I mean, good, wholesome fun. Like, decent folk have.
We decent now?
I guess.
Well, decent or not, I've still got some errands to run.
That's fun.
What would you like to do?
Maybe get our portrait took, for starters?
Portrait?
There's a fella in town takes photographs.
You want to stare at a portrait of yourself all day long? I hate to break it to you, but you ain't that much to look at.
No, I want a picture of us. Me and you. Okay?
Okay, then. Sure. Is there anything else you want?
I don't know. Let's just walk around and see where it takes us.
I do have to be back by dinner time.
Uncle Jack and Charles will manage fine without you. Hell, looking after themselves may even be good for them.
They'll starve.
And that may be good for them, too.
Huh?
With any luck, Jack and Charles will eat Uncle.
Don't get my hopes up. So maybe you're right. We'll stay.
You know I am.
Okay, then. Portrait it is.
Don't leave me the hell alone.
Huh. All right. Let's go be cutesy. Love how domestic this part of the game is. And how it's all nice, with interspersed with chaos, but still.
I'll just put us here. Let me help you down.
Why are you being so courteous?
I don't know. There you go.
I'm gonna head to the Drapers for a minute. Won't take long, but I need to get some materials. You want to come with me or wait here?
And after that, we can go get our photo taken?
Yeah, after that, we can get our photo taken.
Huh.
All right, let's get that picture taken.
I see where
Means that
this is
much to
going.
you.
It does. Today it does.
You're acting kind of funny.
I am kind of funny.
A different kind of funny.
Am I annoying you?
No. I like this version of you. It just ain't you.
Well, maybe I've changed.
Finally.
You'll catch up. I promise. I hope. All right.
Hello, madam. Sir.
Hello, sir.
How can I help you?
We'd like to get our photo taken.
Oh, a photo. Yes, yes, that I can help you with. Yes.
So, what do we do?
I'm sorry, what did you want?
Our portrait taken.
Oh, well, we do that. Yes, wonderful. Handsome couple, quite something, but you need a background.
Oh my god.
Background?
Yes, we have Niagara Falls, Paris by night, We have Mount Vesuvius and its ruins. We have the open prairie. Take a look.
Any of those sound good to anybody? I can always go. I can always go through.
Let's see the others.
Just pull the lever there to release the next one. It's a weighted system, you see.
How about this one?
It's dramatic, ain't it?
It's nice.
Let's see what else they got.
Mount Vesuvius.
This is pretty.
Or spooky, maybe. Let's see everything.
All right. Shouldn't.
That's nice.
It's like being back home. Was that all of them?
That's nice. I like that.
This is a bar.
Surely there's a photograph of you in a bar already. Look, this was your idea, John. It's up to you.
You've seen all of them. Anything you like?
Let's go with the prairie. I like the. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
This is a very important decision, clearly.
Calm down, miss. All right.
Ah, this one.
Wonderful. That will be simply perfect. You know, I wish I had the Congo River, but they require grass skirts. I couldn't afford them. It's just so exotic. You stay there. I'll make a pose that you feel comfortable with.
Well, this is dignified.
Try to enjoy it.
I think I'd rather be cleaning the outhouse.
Be quiet.
Thought you were a cowboy, not a poser.
Oh no, I'm a poser.
That's nice.
Learn from the best.
That is true.
Wonderful.
Well, I like that one. That's pretty good.
Excellent.
The lounge is a little much.
You've done this before.
I like that. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Hi, Kevin. How's it going?
Feeling comfortable?
This one look good? Want to switch it again?
Very good.
I like the sitting. The one with her sitting.
Quite a pose. So natural, particularly you, sir.
I like the one with her
might be
sitting
the
and him
one.
standing. It's not.
I think you've covered all the permutations. Is
Yeah,
there a
just
pose
hold
you are
on,
happy
hold
with?
on. I'm working on it. Working on it. Maybe it's either the dancing one or the her sitting one. I know this is deeply philosophically sophisticated. I know. I like that. All right, cool. Let's do it.
How long I can hold this?
All right.
How's this?
Bravo!
Blinkies. Anyway,
Now-
right.
Give me a minute. I'm going to develop this for you. Wait here.
Take your time. What?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Tough guy. Gunslinger.
Excuse me?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I just posed.
Shut up. You
Oh
know,
my God.
you're not very nice to me.
Oh, I'm nicer than you deserve.
True.
Here.
Sorry, Kevin.
Came
We didn't get the
out
dancing one.
Beautifully.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, look at that face on you.
Be quiet. What do I owe you?
$5.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll see you again.
Oh, yes. He'll probably come in for a pose. He seemed to enjoy himself. Bye now.
God, this is adorable.
What shall we do now?
There is one thing I hadn't done. I've never been to see one of them moving picture shows.
Never?
No.
Well, come on. Let's go do that.
You sure?
Of course. It's the marvel of the age.
I love marvels.
Okay, good. Well, let's go.
Thank you.
Right.
It's real fine doing normal things.
Isn't it? I was just saying this. This is the
Come
this is
in.
the kind of nice.
Thank you.
See, it's nice.
What's playing?
Something called Sketching for Sweetheart, I think.
Oh, hello.
2 tickets, please, to see Sketching for Sweetheart.
That'll be 50 cents, please.
Okay. What's it about?
I have no idea.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Thank you again.
Come on in. A mystery awaits.
It's just incredible. It's like they're really there.
Hey, I'm trying to watch this.
John Marston. What are you doing with that arm?
I thought you might be cold.
John.
I like the. I love the
That's women for
domesticity of this.
Don't you dare, John Marston.
What? I'm watching.
Domesticity and the just kind of calm niceness of the epilogue part
Looks
of this
so
game.
real.
It's not.
Don't be such a sourpuss.
Even interspersed with the very dark moments,
Stop
like we've
it.
seen, like with Uncle and the
Piece of work.
gangs and all that.
Oh my. Is it
That's
over?
really clever.
I think so. Come on.
That's really clever. It's a really clever, clever little film.
All right. We better get home.
Ah, we never get out. The farm will be fine.
The farm. I love hearing that.
Let's go down to the lake for a minute.
The lake.
Sure.
Why, you finally gonna drown yourself?
In a manner of speaking, I guess I am. Happily so.
You're acting real strange.
It's
Oh,
true.
not. Come on.
Are.
You're a silly man, John Marston.
What about Jim Milton?
Oh, he's even worse.
Let me help you in.
Like I said, mighty strange.
I like to row.
Since when? You can hardly swim.
I don't plan on capsizing.
I wonder whose boat this is.
It don't matter. We'll have it back.
I hope they don't think we're...
They won't think anything. They'll think we're borrowing it.
I hope it don't got leaks or nothing.
She's seaworthy, okay? Relax. Look around.
All I can see is a strange man rowing. I thought he was John Marston, but now I suspect he's been replaced with an imposter.
Don't look at me. Look at the sky. The water.
Okay, I'm looking.
Here's good. Ain't it pretty? Will you... Will you marry me?
Get up, I am married to you.
No, I mean proper. In front of God.
You serious?
I got this ring. I've had it for a long time. Take it.
Thanks, Arthur.
You serious?
It would make me very happy if you would...
We've lived a lot of lives.
Let's just live this one from now on. You and me, Jack, a family, by law.
John, I didn't know it mattered to me.
It didn't. But now it does. If you think this is dumb, I'm sorry.
Shut up, you silly man, and kiss me.
The whole cowboy outlaw settling down, having a nice family, his home, and, you know, nice everything. It really sets it apart from the main part of the game. Arthur never gets any of that, and you know, he clearly by the end of it, he knows he can't have this, and he regrets it, but he wants somebody to. That's John and Abigail in particular. But that's what he's after. That's what Arthur's after the whole time, is he wants things to be good for the people he cares about, not even for him, because he can't. Now John gets to reap the benefits of it, for now at least. All of this to see the sort of payoff of everything Arthur. Good things that Arthur. Hey, look, it's the thumbnail. With Arthur screaming in the sky. Alright, now I'm wondering, do we want to do another story mission? Or do we want to head out and do some exploration? I'm trying to think if there's any more bounties for us to do. I think so. Here. Roads. Oh, there's another one in Blackwater we can do. Do that. Good bounty in Blackwater. You can always head further south as well, down to Armadillo, and then keep going. Or down Fort Mercer and past. I think there's some bounties down all the way southwards, so maybe we can go and do that. So let's go, actually first, before I do that, let's go to Evelyn Miller's cabin. Let's go see what he's up to. Go meet him at his cabin, like I said we were going. Then we'll do a couple of bounties along what we're doing. All right. Gotta say, you know, having a lot to do with, this is actually something I talked to my classes about a lot this week with, you know, in-person classes wrapping up, going to an end semester, going online only for the rest after Thanksgiving. I'll tell you, like I've said, I don't mind online classes. It isn't so bad. It's, but it's certainly not the same. You know, it's not a replacement for a real in-person. Up until, like, this year, this semester, no one has ever thought that it was a real adequate replacement for an class. Everybody thought, everybody knew, and was obvious and vocal about the fact that online classes were at best a poor substitute, if not their own whole category altogether. You know, their own sort of substandard category compared to real in-person class. And it really is true. I mean, they're good, they're okay. I don't mind doing it, teaching it. That's teaching an online class isn't so bad, as long as that's how it's designed and that's how it's laid out and it's intended to be on. I can make that work. A bear. Hi, bear.
Settle down, okay?
All right, moving. But again, I think in person is just vastly superior in just about every way. And even more than that, the hybrid form is even more difficult for a lot of reasons. Owl. Because I can't just teach like it's online, and I can't just teach like it's in person. I have to try and do both at once, which makes it very difficult, if even possible. You not here? It's weird. Wait until tomorrow. Let's do that. Possible a day has to pass so you gotta sleep and wake up, or night and day kind of thing. Alright. Maybe that's the case. Alright, let's go do a bounty and then come back. Yeah. I put Evelyn Miller in the thumbnail. I want him to show up. Cool guy. Anyway.
Hang in there, girl.
The whole transcendentalism thing really does embody a lot of the spirit of this game, so I'd like to involve him some more. You know? Anyway. Moving right along for now. What I was saying, though, is, you know, there's an incredible amount of education available for free to everyone and anyone on the internet these days. You can gain an absurd amount of knowledge purely online without having to go through the whole university thing. You know, and there's a lot to be said for that, and it is definitely an amazing, incredible development. It's a wonderful thing, but at the same time, I don't think it is an adequate substitute for an in-person, direct, kind of university-style education. That kind of thing. You know, something like the seminar. You know, you can't replicate the seminar very well online. You can kind of do it. If everybody is extremely dedicated, you can. But you can't do it quite as well. You can do it almost as well, but not quite as well.
There you go.
And man, does everybody have to be dedicated. You can very easily kind of drift through an in-person class and learn something. Actually coming away learning something. But an online class, it is so easy to get through it without learning a damn thing. Which is really...
Well done, lady.
Unfortunately, that is where a lot of people are. You know, the kind of default, the kind of holding pattern type of position is to just kind of drift on through it. And if you do that with minimal effort and not learning a damn thing, you're gonna. At least a lot of people are gonna. And a lot of what that means, or that ultimately means, is that there's no there's no way to there's no just sort of learning through osmosis with the rest of the class kind of thing like there would be.
I'm looking for Gavin.
Uh-oh.
He's my best friend.
Gavin's friend.
He left me. I lost him. I lost him.
Oh man.
Someone must have seen
Kylie's talking about the Supernatural finale tonight. Actual series finale. Oh, poor Gavin's friend.
Morning.
I'm looking for my friend. And Gavin. For Gavin.
Has he been gone long?
Yeah. Few years. Few bloody years. I can't remember what he looks like. I'm looking for him, but I don't know who he is.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I've wasted my life. Looking. I looked, but I never saw. I saw nothing. Gavin.
Good luck.
Gavin. Oh, I am so worried.
Gav. Gav.
So Kylie, are you more or less
Gav.
Come on, lady.
disturbed and mentally disturbed, disjointed as Gavin's friend there? What would you say? Are you in a better or a worse place than he is? That's really the line, isn't it? That's really where we draw the line between completely losing it and just kind of having a rough. You know? Oh, I can't go in the, I guess, town hall or whatever. There's a courthouse, I suppose. Evan! Oh gosh. Let's see. All right. Yeah, Kylie says the only thing I like about the online courses is being recorded, so you can go back and look at them for study. I agree, absolutely. That is something that I would love to do a lot more in basically all the classes I teach, and that's why I try and put a lot of my material online, a lot of my lectures and things online, so students can go back through and so sort of, you know, catch what they missed, because you miss stuff. That's how it works. You know? Honestly, I really wish that more instructors would be willing to record their material and make it available to students. The trouble is that, well, a lot of professors are very, very reticent to do so because they are afraid of publicity.
Look who it is. May I direct you to that bounty poster hanging on yonder wall there?
Oh, it's Skinner brother. Otis Skinner. They're very much afraid of people seeing a lot of what they're teaching because they're teaching unpopular things. And if Skinner brother.
Otis Skinner of the Skinner brothers. Well,
and in a lot of cases, it's just because they are being incredibly political, or they're being
pelt hunters southwest of
patently absurd.
Well,
in a lot of cases,
I should
you know.
try and hold on to mine.
Very droll. In all my years of policing, I haven't encountered men such as those. Makes me wish I'd retired sometime heretofore, if I'm frank. Well, good
I will say though,
Godspeed.
Otis Skinner. I'm assuming he's the head of this gang.
They're the Skinner brothers. The clue's in the name, son.
I will say though,
Gang doesn't have a head, except and
even even in terms of, you know, offline in-person classes, I really like to record my lectures and make them available, like I was saying.
Well,
at least when possible.
I don't know
I will say though that a lot of
I just know he's made a fair old mess
there
out
are
of
questions
everyone
as to
going after him.
whether
And it don't
university
look like he's
policies will
planning
allow
on
for that sort of thing.
That may not be his plan.
And it's, again, like I said, it's primarily to protect, ostensibly it's to protect the sort of intimacy of the learning environment. Realistically, it's
Then
not
so
really.
be it. Just
Um,
bring him in is all.
Okay, so we can kill him if we need. He is apparently a very awful person. So, let's see. But yeah, in a lot of cases, you know, professors don't want their lectures recorded because they don't want it on record, what they're saying in the classroom in a lot of cases. Also, and I'll say this is more of a less of a, I guess maybe, I don't know, less conspiratorial. More cynical, though, still. A lot of professors, they realize that if their material, again, if it's just lectures, if their material is online, fully available online, especially publicly available online, then who needs them anymore? This is especially the case for lecturers. You know, if you're lecturing, if you're giving the same lecture more or less, semester after semester, year after year, and it's not a kind of seminar, a discussion, a real conversation that bringing students in and actually engaging them, which is quite honestly rare. It's very rare for classes to really engage with students in discussion. And honestly, even from an educator's perspective, it's very difficult to do.
All right there.
It really does require dedication from students, and it really does require, it requires a lot of effort on the instructor's part. It's not a simple thing to do. So, it's not doing that is kind of the norm. Just, lecturing. The trouble though is with lecturing is that if you have a recorded lecture, that's just as good as someone standing in front of the classroom lecture. Particularly if you're going to, lecture online. You're not going to have a conversation, not going to have feedback type of thing, then, well, it's... Wait, I don't want to know the dots of what? Other professors just lecturing? Or what are you talking about here? I'm always interested to hear what other instructors are doing. Whether that's good or bad. Whether that's good or bad or somewhere in between, But yeah, I do genuinely... I do think it's a real point, though, that it's... Different instructors will do this differently, obviously. But I also do think that that lecturers, per se, professors who their primary means of classroom teaching is the lecture, have a huge problem with... I don't know how to put this nicely, but have a problem keeping themselves useful in an environment where you can learn from absolutely the best lecturers in the world for free, easily online. Oof. Definitely Skinner brother. See any though. There's the kind of obvious problem, like I said, of keeping yourself relevant and useful. Which, again, my style of teaching, I don't have a problem with this, staying relevant and useful, because most of my teaching is discussion-based. It's not purely lecture-based. I bring up complex topics, and I interact, I talk back and forth with students and things like that. It's not just a matter of me teaching and them listening. If it were just that, then, it'd be understandable that I could be replaced by someone much, much better at that than I am. Because there are people who are better at that than I am, and they do so online for free. Or they don't, but their material is available. I think I got him. Who else we got?
All over now, mister. You must know that.
No, not really. Don't.
It's after the fight these boys really... What happened here? Quick! Stop them! They came for Otis!
Any more? Where is he? Bastard. Alright, come on. Hey. Okay, well, sorry, dog. Anyway, but yeah, I do think that that is a major problem in modern academia, is this issue of what do we do about professors becoming obsolete? Instructors or lecturers become obsolete. And I mean, there's at least two options. One is to adapt to it and to actually offer something useful in the classroom environment. The problem with that is, I think that, you know, the classroom environment is currently under threat with the like COOF restrictions and whatnot.
Here, have the knife, you.
Okay, I didn't expect that, but all right. But yeah, I do think that, you know, if we're gonna, if we as educators are going to stay relevant, we either have to do that. We either have to lean into the classroom environment and make it into something valuable, which I really do think it genuinely is if done properly. Or there just need to be less of us. Because if you know, if and I'm not even particularly, I don't have that far of a reach, but if I have the reach that I do, you know, 400 something people, that means that that's a mass market. It's a big target of people who don't need lecturers in the traditional sense in front of a live Zoom camera. And says, I was fortunate to have a truly great criminal justice professor. Bourbon. It's just bourbon. Bottle. The criminal justice professor who really knew his field, and many others, and engaged us really well in lectures and discussion. He has a PhD in law and theology. He was a former state and municipal officer, Green Beret, and Secret Service agent, and a minister. See, I think this is another good point, is some of the best educators are just interesting people. And that's why they're good educators, is because people are interested in just hearing what they have to say. Had a teacher in high school who was front lines in Korea, CIA bomb squad, literally saved our high school from a bomb threat on more than one occasion. Like the sheriff's bomb squad showed up and he just basically did their job for them. That kind of thing. Fascinating guy. And you know, it was great to hear from him, anything he had to say. He was a history teacher. And man, oh man, he was phenomenal. But oh, not another elk pelt I'm gonna have to get rid of. Darn it. At this point, whatever. I'm gonna buy elk pelts. Note. See if I can get that note down.
Let's get.
Storytelling method of teaching is legendary to say.
Let's go.
Come on, Sneaky Snake. I'm just gonna get on you.
Okay, Missy.
Oh, let's go. Oh, let's see what this note says. Take it? No, guess not. All right, never mind. Let's go. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, it's folks like that, I think, who are absolutely valuable in teaching, and I'm I mean, I guess I'm interesting. I'm certainly not interesting to that degree. I am a Florida man. I'm pretty quintessential Florida man, so there's at least that. And I do have a bunch of really niche little bits of knowledge that are helpful in making lectures interesting, relatable, all that kind of thing. You know, today I wound up talking about all manner of various things, like marginalia of medieval manuscripts, which is just the thing I happen to know about because of my historical background. We wound up talking about liturgical festivals and things like inversion festivals, stuff like that. Which is another fascinating topic that I don't happen to know a lot about because I've researched it a bit from my own interest. And again, for historical purposes. Wound up talking a bit about plot structure and in particular talking about Star Wars and plot contrivances of Lando showing up on whatever the festival planet was, I forget, in episode 9, stuff like that. Things like this, and of course talking about, you know, roasting coffee and whatnot, different ways of preparing it, and everything that goes into that, because, you know, I've got as I mentioned, this was fresh ground and roasted and ground by a student of mine. And again, if you're watching this either now or watching it back later, you know who you are, and thank you ever so much. It is delightful, absolutely delightful. But it's the kind of thing that you know, you can actually tie into to teaching with experience, and also if you know your class, if you actually have a good relationship with the class and you have a good decent back and forth, it's such a huge difference from a simple lecture. You know, so much more to it than that, or there should be. And if there's not, then, you know, what are you doing? You're the same as the internet, just not as good. So, I don't know. I do think that there is a great value of to the actual seminar style in-person learning that is almost unique to a good university education, a liberal arts education in particular. Man, it's really getting hurt this under all of these COOF restrictions. It's really nasty.
You knew this wretch is Otis Skinner.
Is that him?
Bad things coming.
I hope he suffered for his sins, all right. Dump him out back, then.
Kevin says, my impression of you is that you have a talent to connect with people on simple things and interests while maintaining a lofty presence. It's a good balance.
Not an undertaker. Take him outside.
Oh, outside. Okay, sorry. I'll go do that. Okay. I can dig that. I appreciate that, I think. That is hopefully something that I'm do well. It does come with practice as well.
That's what we're paying for him. I would give you more if I could.
Take it.
Yeah, well, honest work for honest pay.
That's a pay.
You should know there has been a cessation in the issuance of bounties in Blackwater.
That's a shame.
Apparently we have the budget to build a city, but not to protect one.
That's unfortunate. I need a different new outfit because look at this.
You okay, girl? Let's go.
Let's change. That's nice. Let's put Arthur's. Gotta wear Arthur. All right, so like I was saying, let's head southwards. Yeah, just wander on south. Let's head to, I don't know. Let's check out Fort Mercer. All the way down there. See what we find on the way there. Sure, there'll be some interesting thing.
That's my lady.
Oh, actually, let's switch out our horse too before we leave. Before we get too far. Sneaky Snake, we already are besties. So let's go partner up with another horse. Yeah, like I was saying, that does what you're talking about. That does actually take quite a bit of practice. The whole lofty thing.
How's that horse?
That
I got space for you if you need stabling.
like I said, that is Rachel's already maxed. Sugar Snap is not, so let's saddle up Sugar Snap.
I'll get that done for you.
Oh.
Safe travel. Remember to rest that horse sometimes.
We do have one more spot in our stable. And a storm rolling. Yeah, like I said, I do think that is a well-practiced thing of mine, and it's, again, like I said, it's I don't know if I've mentioned this on the channel. I started teaching. Actually, let me see. Kevin says so. I'll say this first. Kevin says, I think in philosophy you need that sort of balance, sort of drifting back and forth between heaven and earth. Yeah, actually, I think that's a great way of looking at it. I was actually just searching for an art piece to go with an article I have forthcoming. When I find it, I will hopefully be able to publish it so it's more publicly available. Otherwise, I'll certainly at least share the journal it's in. It's published through St. Leo, so it's Rebus. It's popular enough level, so it should be broad audience, so you guys can get a lot from it. But an art piece I was looking for it to go with it as an illustration is basically a depiction of the Galatian two swords doctrine. So the temporal power of the king and the ecclesiastical power of the bishop. Bishop of Rome, St. Peter.
You're doing well.
Which mirrors the dual nature of Christ. And if you look at especially Byzantine iconography, it does a wonderful job of depicting the dual nature of Christ. And even if you look at something like Ecce Homo, or a lot of Renaissance art, you have Christ's face is divided. You have the very, very serene and noble side of his face meant to represent his divinity, and then you have the very rugged, almost worn side to represent his humanity.
Who's a good girl?
And I think that's something that philosophy really tries to do, is to bridge that gap, divine and the human. And it's why we traditionally have always, whether Christian or not, have had such an admiration for the Logos. It is that bridge between. It's the reason. It's the structure of reality, but also the structure of our minds that hopefully are the same thing. All of that.
Easy now.
So that's the highfalutin part, right? That's that very high-minded kind of thing that you're talking about. But now the down to earth part is the point that the reason I do so well at the again, the practice I've gotten for the lofty part, the part of the teaching, the disconnected from the normal, and the out of touchness, is actually very carefully and well practiced, because I started teaching, or at least I started as a TA, when I was 22 years old, just out of undergrad. I was younger than a good number of my students. Probably, 15-20% of my students were younger than me. Were older than me. And so I had to give off the impression that I was older, out of touch even, that I was not a peer, but an authority to be respected. And and that's why, first of all, that's why I kind of developed very early on a dad-like humor. This was something that arose long before I was actually a real father. But beyond that as well, that's actually when I grew a beard. consistently. Before that, I had a beard for short periods of time, usually short beard. I had a goatee for quite some time. Oh, a rabbit. I had a goatee for quite some time. That was actually how I went through most of my undergraduate courses, with a goatee. If you can imagine such a thing.
You're a good filly.
If you're on my Facebook, I'm sure you can find old pictures. That's how I looked for quite a few years. Mustache and goatee. But at that point, I decided that I really ought to grow a full beard to appear older and more mature, and even to an extent less relatable or out of touch. And this is also why I did things like I very intentionally started using outdated pop cultural references, at least 5 to 10 years out of date. And it's actually a habit I'm having to break at this point. Actually saying things that are, to me, relevant and new, but of course for students are still out of date and old. But every once in a while, when I say something that actually sounds like some inhabitant of the internet might say, it's actually surprising. Not to you so much, my online audience, but certainly students in the classroom. But yeah, it's well practiced. My veneer of detachment and professionalism is certainly a kind of it's a mask I put on, not so much a sort of part of my nature. I mean, it's become almost part of my nature. It's my professorial attitude. It's how I interact when I'm interacting in a academic sort of way. But in terms of it being organic, it's simply not.
Zero.
Hey, Lobos! There's a gringo here looking real pleased with his
Really? There we go.
You think you're the king of this place?
Yes. Fact. Wasted a lot of ammo on that, but it's fine. Oops. Anyway, that was fun. Wait, who's that? What's this? I'm gonna leave them alone because I just saw a dot of somebody off in the distance that I want to go see what's up. What's this?
Easy now.
Right here? Church? Looks like it. Interesting.
Slow now.
Is that same guy burying more bodies?
Hey, whoa! Keep your distance, friend. These bodies ain't safe to be around.
Oh, Lord, you're heavy. Oh. What's wrong with them? Aside from being dead.
You ain't heard about the cholera plague in Armadillo? Most of the towns either died or up and left.
So, why are you burning them?
It's what the townfolk want. Trying to stop the spread. Terrible business. But lucrative, I have to say.
It's a little... See? Oh, okay then. Do it. Snap, let's get going. Heading south. like I said, it's kind of it's a practiced thing. It's an art. It's not so much a getting up before a before classroom students, or even in front of a camera like this. It's not just something that happens. It really is something you have to train. And I'm not perfect at it by any means. I'm not even I'm probably around average at it, honestly. Among people who do this sort of thing, I'm good at some parts of it, bad at other parts. That's the best I can say about my own team. But it is still a skill that you really have to hone. And I will say, even this sort of thing, there are things that I definitely need to improve on. Things that are a problem for my teaching and actually connecting with students and all that. Especially in terms of lecturing. And if I'm going to actually lecture, or if I'm going to lay out something and try and explain something in a methodical, carefully laid out fashion, part of my issue is it derives from, I think, one of my strengths, which is that I'm very, very careful in what I say. I'm very careful to speak very precisely and to correct any even minor mistakes or misspeaks. Okay. Alright, see you. Alright, see you later. Cacti. It's not. Alright, let's go around. Anyway. But due to the fact that I am very, very careful about what I say, very meticulous about what I say, part of what that means is that I will pause. Lizard. Stepped on it. Part of what that means is I will pause for long periods of time, or I'll repeat things pretty significantly. And the part of the issue is that means that I'll have a lot of hemming and hawing noises, a lot of ums, a lot of I have a lot of verbal tics that go along with it, those sorts of other things. It's even just, that sort of thing. I just say that over and over. That and a bunch of other things like it. And, I think it's largely, like I said, it's a result of wanting to pause and be very precise with what I'm saying, which is something that I've learned to do very carefully over the years, so as not to misspeak. So as not to give the wrong impression with anything that I'm saying. Because the less I have to go back and clarify, the more, for lack of a better term, the more efficient what I say can actually explain something quite efficiently if I don't have to worry about going back and having to fix what I've already said. It's down that. Nothing, that's what. Wow, I'm already almost to Fort Mercer, that's crazy. Alright then. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. I'll tell you, this stream has gotten a lot more self-reflective for me. Participating or that's alright. Oh, these are bad guys. These guys don't like me. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go up on a ridge and shoot all of them. How about that? That ridge. I don't know what that is, but I have to go check it out after I do all this. Oh no, Erica says I made a sad encounter for my players, and now I'm sad. It's okay. They'll be sad with you. It's fine. We'll get to enjoy it tomorrow. It's okay. WizKid's not here either, so he won't know. He's surprised by the sadness. Ooh, tumble. Ooh. Got me a little bit. You don't know if they're gonna get to it. Oh man. I hope so. I like these things. Told them all I was streaming, but they haven't even seen my message yet. Oh, that's a shame. Hey, maybe somebody will show up. We'll see. Megan tends to be busy when I'm streaming. Come on. Tends to work late. Really should have done this during the day. There we go. Go. All right. What else we got? Anybody? Yep, I hear them. Still shooting at me. Look for me. Kevin says, I mean, your method is strong enough to be recognizable and effective. Ah, nice. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's also, I think, the case that I... Because I will say, a lot of my teaching technique I get by... Ooh, that wasn't what I intended. Learning from other teachers. Just, being educated by excellent educators. Including some of, my own teachers and professors at universities, right? So, like my current advisor, Thomas Williams. It's phenomenal. At this kind of, especially at this kind of a balance between relatability and high-mindedness. There's that him. What the hell is this guy shooting at me? Alright, well, let's just head down there and see what happens, Have a good time. Let's go.
All right, girl.
Kevin says I'm often imprecise and heavily cool. Yeah, and that's the converse of it, and it's far too easy to just do that. To just kind of speak as one ordinarily would. Yes, I do. Where are you? You're literally the only guy left, you idiot. Come on, bring it on. Oh no, there's one more. What else we got? Oh, there you are. Hello. That's it. Alright, there we go. But yeah, and so, I have him in large part to thank for a lot of learning how to teach, and a lot of my other professors as well have taught me through, both in the simple way of just, I've taken classes from them and I've watched them teach, and they've learned a lot from them that way. But also, hoping through me actually teaching. Oh man, I could have used the Gatling gun. It's fine. I'll play with it a little bit. It's a hell of it. Anyway, and then also, yeah, like I said, like another professor of mine, for whom I have TA'd in the past. That's also a way I've learned quite a bit about how to teach well. And even like how to design courses well and things like that. Let's spray some bullets. This is amazing. Kevin says, I do naturally, but sometimes on purpose because I enjoy probing for seeing how people respond. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well is being able to read responses quite well. You know, you have to be able to tell if somebody is picking up what you're putting down. You have to be able to tell if you need to explain something, because students are not always going to just say, yeah, I don't understand what you mean. I need to now ask exactly the question that will clarify what you had to say. You kind of just have to know how to clarify something if you're going to need to clarify it, and hell, if you're just going to need to clarify it. A lot of the time, you know, students don't know what they don't know. We all don't know what we don't. And that's a big issue. Because of course we don't know what we don't know. That's the nature of the unknown, which is the difficult part. Because of that, it's very hard to learn. Just in general, it's hard to learn what you don't know because you don't know how to ask the right questions. If you don't know how to ask the right questions, then you're not going to get the answers that you don't know that you need them. All of these things are kind of compounding issues that, you know, you need a good teacher to help you through that kind of a problem. And part of being a good teacher, and to the extent that I am one, kind of answer this, at least in theory, is that a lot of that involves knowing what your students will know, knowing what your students don't know, and knowing what your students don't know that they don't know. And this is, I will say, another major flaw of mine, quite honestly, is that it's very easy for me as a scholar to forget the gaps in ordinary knowledge for most people. You know, I just assume by default, and I've worked on this as well, but I still make the assumption just because it's my way of thinking. I just make the default assumption that the various technical jargon that I use is not going to fly over the heads of my students, even though it for damn sure is. I'll forget that if I just start talking about, well, that's what this means. Here's what this means in the Latin. You know, that matters none at all. That makes no difference whatsoever to any of my students. Makes a huge difference to me. But things like that, things that do not matter at all to students, but sure as hell matter to me as a very a comparatively well-read scholar, but a scholar being very familiar with the ins and outs of the discussion and the topic at hand. Part of what that means is that I forget that not everybody has that same perspective. Funny. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, cool. That's a good chunk of money. Bucks. Perfect. But stuff like that, right? I will say a weird technical term, and it won't seem weird to me, but if I thought about it for more than a moment, I would recognize that no, my students don't know about. And so I need to explain it further, to explain it in more detail, in more plain language. But I sometimes need to be reminded of that. So that's something I always tell my students, is if something I say does not make sense to you, or it doesn't make sense in context, or it doesn't seem like I mean the thing that it sounds like I mean, something like that, then tell me, because I probably need to clarify, and you're probably not the only one confused by it, because you know, I make that mistake rather often. Honestly, it's the same fault I have, like, as a DM narrating, but honestly. That I don't forget, I don't easily remember that my players don't have the same vision that I do of what's going on in the world around them. Erica says, what would a Fey Deer Centaur want from our group of adventurers that would continue a circle? some kind of like centaur. Oh, one of those things. Yeah. Some kind of alcohol. How about that? That might be good. Ooh. Some kind of alcohol. Unless anybody else has other ideas too, feel free. Add ideas. I certainly look forward to this quest chain. Really, really do. Do some incendiary buckshot stuff. I mean, alcohol when you don't know what else to propose. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it's a little boring, but it makes sense. Revolver cartridges, I'll use them. It's going to get more and more difficult and absurd. Oh, good. I love this already. I really look forward to this. It'll be a lot of fun. Very annoying, but a lot of fun. It's funny also, so this was something about that I maybe should have addressed earlier, you know, but I didn't really get to it much. Oh hey, would a random Fey prince they need something from after Shinova or Kaplan? Kaplan has the cloak, right? Maybe her. Especially if he's like an Eladrin. Or something like an Eladrin, I think. Yeah, probably. Please put a Dryad somewhere. Dryads are really fun and sort of... yeah, I think so I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned this, but only briefly. I think Monday. I think it was last week. Wasn't. Is that so the YouTube channel that I talked about quite a bit on here, Unis Honest, 1 year. Markiplier and Ethan Frank Gameplays, their sort of collaborative project thing. It was basically a do something new and wacky every day, new video every day, knowing that they were going to delete the whole thing at the end of 1 year. They just did last Friday. Incredible. It was actually a really, really cool project, and the whole theme of it was Memento Mori, is remembering the end and letting the end give meaning to the present, meaning to. And it just so happened that this weekend I was also in my other D&D. I was playing it, not running, helping run. Not running, I'm helping run. The one she's not running. No, not those. But the one where we're currently in Barovia, Strahd, there is a side, there's a side mission. Homebrew. Done from the sort of Curse of Strahd community. Which is about a time curse, a time loop curse. Somebody, a noble woman thought she had all the time in the world to do everything, to and so she turned down a noble suitor, which would have been a politically arranged marriage and not really anything that totally fair, but regardless, it's not exactly something she wanted. So she turned it down and basically scorned him very, very rude and very, very rudely, and basically had the attitude that, well, she had time to do what she life. As it turned out, not. Because I don't want to spoil exactly what happened, but basically she was poisoned. She, in her last moments, cried out, wanting. She thought she would have more time. Please, all I want is more time. And so the dark powers of this awful, terrible, cursed plane of being, granted her more time. Continuous time loop of that day, fateful, awful day, forever. Our player characters just broke the time loop. But that's the really thematically appropriate. It fits so very well together. Ending of Unus Annus right around the same time. It's that it's not worth pleading for more time because there's no use. You won't have more time than you have. Have a limited amount. That's it. That's all there is. Asking for more is going to do nothing. Thinking you have an unlimited amount of time to do. In fact, it's going to mean that you're not going to get things done. This is what we see a lot in today's society, especially with our generation, my generation, millennials. We have this terrible, terrible tendency of putting off adulthood, putting off real life. Have plenty of time to settle down and have a family, get a serious career. Plenty of time to do all those adult things. Right now, for now, I'm just going to live my life and have a good time, or whatever it is that kids these days, people my age, let's say, are doing with their lives, or realistically not doing with their lives. No, you don't have enough time. Maybe you do, but you don't know that. Can't depend on it. There's a fair chance that you have less time than you think you do. And you definitely have less chance than you feel like you have. So, it's important to remember. We only have so much time. Do important things when we can. Not to just drift along. Especially, I'm almost 30, so for a lot of people around my age, that's terrifying. But for me, it's just like, no, of course I'm almost 30. Look at me. Right? I roughly act most of the time. I act almost 30. I mean, to be fair, maybe not, when I'm doing stuff like this, I guess, but I'm of a state in life which is rather appropriate to being almost 30. But I know a lot of people who are around my age who are turning 30 or upon whom that big 3-0 is creeping steadily onto them, that they're basically still children. They act like. And it's rough, it's traumatic. Because suddenly you notice that 10 years have gone by since you were 20. And what are you doing? Well, I know what I'm doing. Scholarship stuff. With my teaching stuff, career. Plodding along. I'm still, I'm going far more slowly than I would like with some things, and not so much the important stuff. I've got 2 kids. Couldn't be happier about that. So it's one of those things where it's remember what time you have to do the things that are important. Because even if you do have a lot of time left, you don't have now again, right? This is something else I've said before on the stream as well, especially Thanksgiving coming up, holidays coming up. Sure, you probably have another Thanksgiving coming. Probably. You don't know that. Probably. And even if you do, though, you don't have this Thanksgiving again. This is your last this Thanksgiving. This moment, it's not like you can try it again later. Now, you can try and do something again later, but you can't try this over right now. Right now is now. It doesn't come back. And if you waste now, you're wasting it. Looking at my analytics to see if any of you guys are leaving, deciding that they're more... watching an almost 30-year-old stream a dead cooking plain venison, talking about doing important. Glad to see you're sticking around. Anyway, on a lighter note, Eric is asking, all right, what would a Fey Prince want as a gift to another Fey Prince that they're on break with? On break. Despairing over the... Sorry, Kevin. I really am, but man, think it through. Do your thing. Do something, you know? And it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be the same thing as a... It doesn't have to be a family thing. It's as long as you're not... As long as you can reasonably say you're not going to regret what you're doing now. Or you're not going to regret having done what you're doing now. I think you're safe to say, it's safe to say, more or less. Maybe there's more to it, maybe probably is, but it's at least a rule of thumb. Think about thinking back on today and ask yourself, will you have said, ah man, I wish I had... And if you can think of saying, if you can think in the future of, for damn sure, you're gonna say, ah man, I wish I had... Do that. So Erica, Fey Princess. Like romantically or what? How is this? What you going for here? Alright, cool. Let's go find wherever that was with that... there's a town or something right nearby. Another Gatling. Horse coming? Come on, Sugar Snap. So do you mean like he's pining for this other Fey Prince, or trying to... What do you mean? What's your context here? Say more. I'll see what I can think of and come up with. Or, you know, hell, see what the hive mind of the chat can come up with. Rattlesnake, probably. It was over there. It was. Kevin says, I feel like there are things that are regrettable in the past and caused a need for reconstruction. But I think there's a lot of stuff that was deconstructed from the past that I see what you mean, but at the same time, I think I'm comfortable saying that I don't regret anything. I have no regrets. And I don't mean that to say I've never made a mistake, because I sure as hell have made mistakes. Darn it, really? Back here, pig. Good, I didn't tumble off the Aragorn. Alright. Skin this pig. But I have no regrets, because even I've made mistakes, for damn sure, right? I've done things I for sure shouldn't have done. Stupid. But at the same time, those mistakes have led me to where I am now, and I'm very happy with where I am. And if I hadn't made those mistakes, I might be somewhere different, and I don't want to be anywhere. Like I said, I'm very happy where and how I am right now today. And I wouldn't change anything. I would learn from my mistakes, be more careful moving forward. But I wouldn't do anything would change where I'm at. Alright, so Erica says, seeing as the Fae basically don't have gender, I guess kind of romantic in the possessive way. Basically, they're going to go to this one prince who immediately demands they hand over what the party needs. Demands that to hand over what the party needs. He wants Kathleen. Oh, okay. That's normal. That'll go well. So here's a thought. What if the party, being an insane D&D party, just say, oh, okay, here she is. And decide that it's a better idea to try and rescue her after the fact or something. That'll be fun. Anyway, continuing. Obviously, they're going to disagree. You say obviously. Never underestimate the absurdity of an adventuring. Anyway, obviously they're going to disagree, so instead he wants her to go with him to meet, to a meeting to make the other prince jealous. He has a new girl, but he also wants a present because he knows that this will totally work on the other prince and wants to give something to them when they run back to him. Pining is a good descriptor, though. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. I love it. It's fun. This sounds pretty great. And given that it's a fae, I would say either something silver related, because silver is the chaotic metal. It's the fae metal. Or it's cool. Or something strange, odd, enigmatic, ridiculous. Something that a fae would like from another. Not sure, that's super vague. Both of those are actually super vague, so I don't know. I don't know if either of those is a good description, but something like that. Hey. I've been here.
Oh, ma'am! Calm down.
Let's keep moving, I guess. Through here. Kevin asked, how do we know whether our current state is wasteful? I don't know if this is a silly question. I'm going to give you a cop-out answer, but it's one I think is more or less true. It's not wasteful. That's all I'll have to say. That's all I can say. I trust in Providence, if you will. Trust that the way things... Oh, geez, that was interesting. Cabin just exploded. Oh, hey, it was a whiskey still. Was there someone here? Alright, well. Right along, that was cool. You know, I would say, you know, trust in God that that things are the way they ought to be. I don't think that I can plan things better than God. And so I don't think that I am the right person to judge whether...
Relax, girl.
I don't think I'm the one to judge whether things could be better or not, whether the current situation is good or bad. I think it's good because, you know, it's kind of what I have to think. Because it's the way things are. And I think the way things are more or less how they ought to be. Even if things can be better or could be better or can improve, the point is to improve them, not to second guess how they are and how they. And I know that kind of seems like that kind of seems like it, and it may even really contradict what I said earlier, right? Think back and think, well, would you perhaps think that maybe if only I had done something different? Now, you know, yeah, that's true. I mean, that is maybe to an extent, I think, that might be it's not right. That might contradict the idea of don't regret the way things are and the way things have gone. At the same time, I do think that, especially, you know, thinking about it in the present does provide a lens of analysis for one's present life, even if in the future one recognizes that what one has done has left a good place.
Hey, boy.
Huh. Goats.
You're the one.
Oh, behave.
Yeah, keep moving. Get on.
Alright, sorry. Yeah, there's not much down here yet, fortunately. Let's see what else.
Hey, partner. You'll be okay.
Scalar Fork. Really there. Or back towards Fort Mercer, I suppose. Lake down there that I haven't really explored. Way back up. Go south or west? I'm gonna go south. Through this canyon. This ravine. This looks like a spot to get bushwhacked. But yeah, what do you think, Kevin? Is that a satisfactory answer, or was that too much of a punt for you?
Whoa now.
Bridge. Huh, there's another town. Tumbleweed. Oh, it's Tumbleweed. Nice.
You, mister. Mister. Gentlemen.
Sir, we got some Mister,
Watch yourself
look what I
around here.
found. He's in the Del
You know
Lobo
what they
gang.
do with them 10 stars in Mexico, boy? Hey. Hey. What's all the nonsense?
Keep your distance. We've
You
got
don't
business
release me
here.
now. 12 angry Mexicans is gonna ride through this town.
Hey,
burn it
just
all
pass
to
it
hell.
through. Don't mind me.
Only lock me up if you want this town to burn, Sheriff.
We
I like the
not
sheriff.
respond amicably to threats.
This guy's a badass.
What's the charge?
He was robbing a stage.
Then the sentence is death. Make
Hey,
your
no!
peace,
The
partner.
boy was gonna put me in cell!
This
Oh,
is
boy.
wartime, and like you said,
No!
we
Jesus.
can't take the risk.
Sheriff?
Okay.
My God.
From now on, trials are going to be quick, and justice even quicker. We will not submit to these lawless games. Get this trash out of town. Where there's one Del Lobo, there'll be more.
Yes, sir. Sheriff.
Now you can be a help or hindrance. You want to help? Follow me in.
Let's hope. I don't want to be a hindrance. I want to get shot in the head. All right. Kevin says, I think too, at least on my part, that no one can look improperly at one's state, undervalue it to a vain
I was
expectation of its true
hoping you
potential.
was the obliging kind. I didn't
Yeah,
want to be
I think that's true.
your idol of sheriff, but the situation demands it. Just take that bounty poster there and you'll find out. These fellas is known as the Del Lobo gang, meaning of the wolf in the Mexican tongue. I only wish they was that civilized.
Joaquin Arroyo. $2. The arrest. So he's wanted alive. Hey. Alive, all right. I'm alive.
Joaquin Arroyo. Word is he's up at Solomon's Folly. These Del Lobos been killing, stealing, torturing, and tormenting the good people of this region for too long. Only good one's a dead one. Except if they know a thing or two, and I believe this one does. You bring him here, I'll have a few words, and then I'll send him to St. Peter. You have my sworn oath on that.
This bounty. Alive seems a pretty big ask for one of these Del Lobos.
It is a pretty big ask, and that's a pretty big price. If you're worried about justice, he won't be alive for long after you walk him through that door.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride across the desert, bring you a bounty just so you can kill him.
God, no. I'll converse with him first. But after that, things will move real swift around here. Ours ain't a hanging judge, you'll see. He's the I'm with you whatever kind.
I got everything I need, except this bounty.
We'd like that one alive. Sheriff's prerogative.
Okay then.
You
Well,
have the authority of this office. Don't be mistaken.
let's do it then. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's actually check the general store about clothes. If there's any nice new outfits down here southwards.
Welcome, mister. Let me know if I can help you find something. If you're hungry, I got some produce by the window behind you and some canned goods over by the wall.
Now, let's have a look.
Weed. Leatherman, that's nice. Alright, let's just try them on. The cow puncher. What? Alright, let's try it. That's more of a look for Arthur, honestly. It doesn't fit John
You're pretty
too well.
focused over there.
The cow puncher. Ooh, I like the cow puncher. Leatherman's nice. Not bad. But nah. I honestly like the cow puncher. I really like the cow puncher.
That's always flying
Let's
off
go with the
shelves.
cow puncher. Oh my god. So, oh, not that. The cow puncher.
I'm glad that's fixed.
Gosh.
So
Oh, I
I hear
really
some
like the look
bounty
of
hunters
this.
caught up with Nathan Earp. All
But
the best.
the name of this outfit is just so patently absurd. It's hilarious. Arthur's hat, though, obviously. All right, cool. I love bursting through doors. Comic effect. Boom! I'm here for some hair pomade. Absolutely. I'm gonna go burst into the gunsmith same way.
Don't think you've been in here before, have you?
Lodging too.
Best to look in the catalog. Describes what we got.
See if there's anything I don't have. I don't think there's probably not anything. Have one. Have one. Have one. Oh, got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. I don't have it. Oh, I don't want it though. It's not worth it. 6-6. It's not worth it. So card. Do need them.
Good.
Cartridges. Those.
Uh-huh.
Those. All right, that'll do.
Popular item around here.
Now this should be fun.
We want to take a nap here? Nah, let's just keep it. Let's keep moving on. John doesn't need to sleep. John is a cowboy.
Good to see you again, sir.
All right, let's go. Let's go and find bounty. Base south of here. Yeah, there's a stable around here, finally. Hey, Uncle or Uncle Lumbago? Uncle Lumbago. How's it going? Good evening. Thanks for coming on. Glad to see you.
Good girl.
Heading off after a bounty. These Del Lobos. What's this? Taken.
That's a girl.
Have a care.
Go on, girl.
All right. We'll say there hasn't been too terribly much philosophical game for some time.
Okay,
it's been a lot of nice, peaceful wandering. It gave us some time to think and talk, but that's most of it, you know. Kevin asks, is it practical wisdom to find and accept the value of one state in life, or is it cope? I mean, that's a fair question, honestly, and I do think that's... Oops. I do think you... Oh, come on, really? Okay. Sorry, miss. What? There we go. I do, like I said, I do think that I do think it is worthwhile probably to try and figure out if one could be doing better, especially moving forward. See, that I think is the biggest thing about this whole life decisions talk. You know, am I doing the right thing with my life? Am I in the right place where I ought to be and all that? You know, if it's backward looking, then it's cope at best. It's definitely no more. It might even be worse. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Excuse me. Go. Alright, all the way up here. Let's shoot the heck out of some people, yeah? Are the bastards. This is really dumb, and I don't think it'll work, but it's worth a try. Good night, Kylie. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Barbecue. Good time. Nice and relaxed event for everybody who can be. Yep. Let's head down. Ooh! Ow. Okay, that was a mistake. We're fine. But yeah, I do think that. So, Kevin, I think that the biggest distinction to be made is between.
Joaquin's not here! Please, he's not here!
Everything's okay. Just tell me where he is.
Hop on the tracks! They're robbing the train!
Get out of here before I change my mind.
Oh, thank you. Gracias, señor.
All right, then.
Let's see here. Train west of here. Okay, Joaquin. Let's see if you're here.
Let's loot the camp really quick first. While I'm here. All right. I do think setting the barn on fire was probably a good decision. Probably left that horse free though. It's panicking. But yeah, Kevin, I do think that the biggest difference is whether your analysis of your station in life is forward-looking or purely retrospective. Because if it's forward-looking, if you're actually looking to what you can improve about your life, looking into the future, then I think that's absolutely worth doing. And that's far, far from your cope. Like, I think that, to be fair, I really do think that purely backwards-looking sort of thinking about that sort of thing, that is not really a productive kind of thing. That's just focusing on regret. I don't know if it's cope. Maybe it's just wallowing in pity, self-pity. So don't do that. Don't do that. Kind of in.
Arroyo, look at this. Someone's walked into trouble.
Joaquin Arroyo, which one are you? Don't make me kill you, son. I said I'd bring you in alive.
Arroyo, Arroyo, run!
You tell them my name? What the hell?
Don't move! Royal, someone wants to have a talk with you.
Take your last breath.
All right. That did it. Wait, did I just drop my pistol?
Don't got any objections? What's in here?
All right, let's take him in.
You dumb bastard! Do you know who I am? You will die for... You're gonna die slow. And you're gonna die hurting. I'm going to watch them do it. And I'm going to laugh.
All right.
What was that?
I don't
I didn't
believe
hear
you.
you.
I think honestly, the kind of the opposite is the case. That I'm gonna watch you die, and it's probably not gonna be very slow. It's probably gonna be.
Lobo and Austin, come looking for me. We are an army, a legion. You hear those horses, those shots? You'll know your time has come.
You sure are colorful.
All right, dude. Probably taking you back to get shot in the head. So maybe tortured a little.
You know that the Lobos? Hey, we killed and we burned all the way across the country. You should be scared. You should be quaking in your boots, vaquero. They'll take your ears, they'll take your nose. There won't be nothing left on your head except bone.
You have a fine imagination, Arroyo. I'll grant you that.
I'm going to take the bounty poster. I'm going to shove it down your mouth. And I'm going to burn you alive, mister. You wanna burn? You wanna scream? That's what's happening to you. You hear me? Are you listening?
Okay, well...
This guy's not very good at threatening. He's not a very threatening guy. Just his voice in general is not very intimidating. I mean, his threats are very terrifying, of course. Awful. Brave. It's hard to take him seriously when he's this squeaky. Alright, here we go.
Here we are. Our time together is almost at an end.
I'm going to see you again, mister. Believe me there.
All right, let's go.
Knowing the sheriff, nah, probably not.
Sheriff, you looking for Joaquin Arroyo?
I ordered him. Didn't have much hope of seeing him, though. Put him in the cell.
You couldn't come get me, Sheriff? You yellow belly. You coward. You sent some vaquero.
Yep.
I could have come after you, Arroyo. But it's so damn hot out there, I didn't want to sweat.
My friends, they're gonna come for you.
And they'll die, too. Now save some breath for my questions, boy.
Alright then.
I believe you'll find that figure to your liking.
Do indeed. Thank you, Sheriff.
Justice is the real reward.
We need good folks like you down here. Should be another wretch upon the wall any day now.
Alright, well let's go over to the gun shop and let's have a nap. See if we can do that. We can rent a room or something. Guess we'll wait until morning. Just kidding. We'll just lean against a post. instead.
Get your meats here, open for business. Life's just easier when you carry a badge. Good to see you again. Look out!
Sorry. Didn't mean. Alright, let's see if there's a new bounty poster up. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. Hey, he's still here. I'm surprised, honestly. Can't believe how much more of this map there still is, even past Tumbleweed. Well, let's take a nap. Let's go to the gunsmith. Rent a room. Go to sleep. Get up in the morning. Sleep for basically till morning, 24 hours.
I'd like a room for the night.
All right, hand over. Should be ready. These are good
Do it.
deals. Come back anytime.
What? Oh, is it upstairs? Is it inside? Bath. There we go. All right. All right, let's yeah, there is a hell of a map, and it is still definitely, there's still definitely a here. Alright, cool. These are good ones to have on. I still like the... I need to put that on the horse. Hold on. Let me get rid of... Let's remove that from the horse. Let's put... Winter Cowboy or Homesteader? I need a cold weather one on there just in case. Put that on the horse. That'll do us. Sleep. Night. Gonna take off my gun belt, obviously, as one doesn't do. And then we'll head on back. We'll see if there is another. We'll see if there's another bounty. Nowish. Oh, there is. Good, good. So we'll go do that. After we're done with the bounty, I think we'll head back northwards. Back towards the homestead, you know. Raining? It's raining. Wow, that's rare. Rare down these parts. Let's get us a bounty though. Who's this? Ward 4. $65 for Esteban Cortez. Capture or killing. Cool. Cool. Let's go do it. Wow. Again, this is still left to explore. Crazy. Alright. Yeah, Kevin says, I love a big map. There's sadness when the frontier disappears. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a thing too, is that, and that's always a temptation that I have, because I'm a very world-buildy kind of writer. If I'm doing anything remotely fictional, especially if it's, you know, it's running a D&D game, kind of campaign like that, or some tabletop-y type stuff, I want to know exactly what's where, everything about what's where, everywhere, you know?
Mister, I can't even... You have saved my life. I can't thank you enough. Whatever is in that box is yours. I'll explain the loss. Far as I'm concerned, you earned it.
Okay, then. I'll take it. Why not?
I was waiting for you to say that.
Nice. I'll happily take it. But yeah, I was saying I have this real tendency to want to fill in everything on the map, to know where everything is, what's going on everywhere I can find it. And it's like I want a Tolkien style map of everything and everywhere, everything that's happening everywhere, all of that. I want everything filled in. Especially when I'm running something. But there's an appeal that I forget to filling in the map as you discover it. That's a big difference to the kind of, oh, well then, okay. It's different than having everything already. Kevin says, desert storms are really a neat thing to see. Usually there's a sandstorm first, too. When I was in Arizona, I attempted to suit up, stand out in a sandstorm. Hit about 5 minutes before giving up. Yeah, I can imagine. It's not something that I have ever come anywhere close to experiencing before. Again, I've lived in Florida my whole life. I've never been to a desert. The only other environment that I have been to for any period have been things along the lines of... I've been up north, like northeast kind of thing. Family and such. Up and down the eastern seaboard here and there. And Indiana, closest to desert and plains I've ever been. Even though it's obviously not desert, it's at least plains. Set something on fire.
What are you talking for?
I got your hat. There we go. Almost full. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, my closest equivalent to a storm like that would be a hurricane. I've been out and played in hurricanes. They're a lot of fun. Actually, Ada, the one that just passed through, was a lot of fun. In fact, I basically sat out on the porch with smoked a cigar and listened to Joe Rogan. He had Dave Smith on. It was a great episode, by the way. It was, and the storm was actually it was actually quite something. It wasn't still a hurricane by the time it actually made landfall, but early on, the outer bands of it were. An actual Cat 1 hurricane is really quite something. Usually by the time they actually make landfall and the eye actually makes it ashore and it gets all the way inland to you, that kind of thing, it's down to a tropical depression at most, maybe a tropical storm. This was at least a tropical storm still, full time. It was really something. It's always impressive. The sort of power of nature. It's always impressive. And it's nice, just kind of sitting out there in the middle of chaos. It's always a hell of an experience. Or, alternatively, when I was a kid, I wasn't that young, I guess I was probably 13 or so. I took my skateboard, I put a sail on it. Blew him up. Fine. It's in here. Box now. Let's keep moving. Keep getting in here. Woo! There he is. Oh, that was him. Alright, well, I guess I got him. Didn't mean to kill him, but... Well, I meant to kill him, I just didn't know that was my mark. Oh well. I got a tunnel collapse on him to an extent. Evan says, I highly recommend experiencing the desert Southwest in person. Pictures don't do it justice. There's an energy to it all, to all the wide open sky and vastness of the land. It's just inspiring, I'm sure. It's something I'd definitely like to see someday. It's definitely on my things to see list, as it were. Desert in the Southwest is one. Rocky Mountains is another. I have seen and I've been to the Smoky Mountains. And I love the Smoky Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's been a very long time, and I need to go back. I really do need to go back. Up and down the East Coast. That's beautiful. That is gorgeous. I absolutely, in the times I've gone there, and it's been a good long time. But the times I've gone there, up and down the Blue Ridge Parkway and such. God, it's gorgeous. It's incredible. And I know it's not the same high, stark mountains that you find out west. But that's not really what I'm looking for so much as it's the mystery in the hills like that. The kind of mystery you don't find in, I mean, it's the same, actually, honestly though, no, it's the same type of mystery you find in things like swamps, Florida. it's that mystery of the very, very natural world that is still a barrier to humanity, to us, to our efforts to understand and to control and to see everything. Really something. Love that kind of thing. Even the like managed parks, even like national state parks or things, there's a real element of that like, no, this is not a place for people. This is a place that people are near. People might wander through, but it's not where we belong. In a good way, interesting way that's yeah. All right, fine. Making sure there's nothing interesting over here. But it's the kind of being unwelcome. That makes it interesting, that makes it new.
Be a good girl now.
Let's go.
Doing okay, girl.
Back to Tumbleweed.
You'll be okay.
I'm not sure if there is actually more bounties afterwards. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin says, wildlands help us to get perspective.
Good girl.
We may be the pinnacle of creation, but we're not the most powerful part.
Ain't you special?
Especially not individually. That's the other thing, especially not individually. You know, we, the human race, right? Humans as a species, as a group, we might be incredibly powerful, capable of damn near anything, but I'm not. You're not. Individually, none of us in particular are anything compared to the might of the natural world.
You looking for Esteban Cortez? This fella here might have been him.
Looks like him, all right. You saved me a bullet and a telling off. Now dump him out back and I'll have you your paint.
Let's drop him. Oh yeah, speaking of humanity as a whole and our smallness in the cosmos and all that. Did you, Kevin, did you see the
As agreed.
did you see my video on humanism yet? Came out Monday. If not, you should. You really should.
I wouldn't come here looking for bounties for a while.
And all right.
Sheriff can only delegate responsibility so long. I want authority. I got to earn it.
All right, well, in that case, sounds good to me. Let's head back north to Evelyn Miller.
If you can cook it, I sell it. Get your meat right here.
All right, let's go. Ride. I mean, look, Evelyn Miller is in the thumbnail. We have to see him at least once this stream.
Who's a good girl?
At least once. Both head over. Let's head that way. Yeah, 13 minutes. That should be enough to ride all the way.
Nice filly.
I mean, unless we run into something else, but who knows? We'll see.
There you go.
I will say for the finale
Hang in there, girl.
of the epilogue, finish the story of the epilogue, which might be in a couple of weeks. It's coming up. There's not much left in terms of story.
Hey, miss.
I'm gonna have to involve Micah thumbnail because of the involvement
Well done, lady.
in the story.
All right there. That's messy.
Yeah, Kevin, I do highly recommend it. It's a lot about how humanism is. It has its own particular context now.
And leave your boots on your stinking feet. I'll leave my boots up your stinking ass.
Cut it out, you two. We've been riding for days. We all need baths.
What? You don't like how your sister smells on me?
That's it. Got them all. I'll just leave them out here right by the graveyard. That'll be fine. Anyway, so my point was, the short point of the video is I look at humanism, this idea of generally the theme of humanity first, which we see in a lot of switch back so get them off. All right, let's keep moving. Right, but the point is that humanism, this idea that I think I represent with the phrase humanity first. We're all in this together, we're all one species, we're all citizens of the same planet. All of those humanistic platitudes are rhetorically a very solid, strong point, right? That we shouldn't let petty things divide us, and right, we shouldn't let things like race and things like that be the point of our moral judgments and all of that, right? All nice, all good, cool. But the moment you change the context a little bit, you start to get people like Emmanuel Macron, for example, is one of the examples I use, the president of France, sounding basically just like somebody like the Elusive Man from Mass Effect, a humanist. But in this case, humanist means it winds up being a kind of racist. Because it means humanity over other non-human persons. You know, so again, it's the reason this is important is because the sort of philosophical basis for humanism is essentially a biological essentialism rather than anything to do with the intrinsic value of persons. It's about our species, Homo sapien, which is not the morally significant category that humanists want it. And so if that is the basis for your ethics, right? If your ethics are based on biological species, then yeah, you're gonna wind up in the wrong place if new empirical situations, there are empirical changes to the way things are. Yes, Kevin, human high culture, that's another example I use. I don't think I actually bring up human high culture exactly. I don't think I refer to it by name. But yeah, same thing. Same thing. I do refer to the Empire. The Empire is a good example of this.
Hey. You okay?
Yeah, look at it. Take a look. I do highly recommend it. I think it's one of those where, and it's honestly one of those insights that I had on one of our streams. It was while I was playing Mass Effect on stream. I started hearing the rhetoric of you know, the Elusive Man coming out of all sorts of modern early 21st century secular humanists. It was basically the same rhetoric, and that's interesting to me. It's one of those things where it's why I love science fiction, speculative fiction in general. I think it does such a great job of exploring philosophical questions that wind up being relevant to our real present world, and not just, you know, the far-flung future. And I mean, there are other questions that games like Mass Effect will raise, right? So one of them, an article I've mentioned, written that I've mentioned before on at least on that stream. I don't know if I've mentioned it here. Is about marriage and sexual relationships with aliens, with non-human aliens, heterosapiens, if you will, other rational animals. And I laid out, and using Asari from Mass Effect in particular as my sort of test case, if it's morally licit, and you can use ordinary natural law reasoning to sort through it. And if you have solid, principled bases for your ethical conclusions, you can apply it to new situations very, very easily. Same goes for the next question I would have that I don't know enough about the nature of the sacraments. Would be, I mean, I argue that you could baptize an alien. Question, but maybe even you could marry an alien if it's the right kind. But then you have the further question: what about holy orders? Could you have an alien priest? If a priest acts in persona Christi, and that is the reason why a priest must be a man rather than a woman, must a priest be a human man, a Homo sapiens man, or is rational animal a sufficient definition for human for the purposes of acting in persona Christi? Again, this is a question that I've pondered a while, but I haven't thought of an answer to. And I mean, another question: what if could an alien receive the Eucharist if they can't digest it? They can't digest bread or wine, or if it would be dangerous to them. Again, all of these are questions that can apply to today, right? What if someone has an incredible extreme insensitivity to the accidents of the Eucharist, right? How does that affect their Eucharistic obligations, and how does that affect their sacramental life, and all of that? Right? All of these are issues that science fiction can really bring out, but can really apply to the present real world.
Hey, partner!
Alright, here we are. Evelyn Miller's cabin. We've been here like 4 times, and he hasn't been here. Now he is. So here he is. Howdy.
My, the reticent cowboy.
Hello.
You never told me your name.
Jim. No. John Marston.
Which?
John Marston. Long story.
I'm a writer. I love stories.
Another time. Guess I'm as big a fraud as you claim to be.
I'm trying, John. My wife didn't understand. Doesn't understand. The parish priest has taken to writing me missives about the exact nature of my sins. The parish priest! Can you imagine? Oh, what a petty-minded lot they are. I was attracted by my fraudulent fame, by the idea of me as some kind of provincial seer. It makes me sick. But here, I live like a man. I'm feeble, but alive. I'm a man! For the first time in my life, I'm a man.
Okay.
Or, I'm still a coward, but a real man would happily die rather than live as I do.
I don't know about that. We're all scared of something. Something within us.
But me, I'm nothing but fear. Fear and doubt and lies. Just a glimpse of how other men have coped and lived and survived and flourished. There are days when I sit here and weep about all the things that I've lost. We've lost. We true Americans, we peasants. We are killing this place, John Marston.
Killing what?
This great beauty, this truth.
What are you talking about?
Come. Let me show you.
I'm seeing some amount of myself in
Prepare
the
to be
kind of...
shocked.
identity crisis having academic.
Follow me.
Unless you're showing me Bigfoot,
Man.
you should know. I'm not so easily shocked, Mr. Miller.
But you will be. Wait until you see the waste, the boundless appetites of these men. I know you will be horribly shocked because I see that frontier spirit in you. The self-reliance, the harmony with nature that us modern men have so lamentably lost.
I hate to spoil your impression of me, but I've been known to eat from a can just as often as from my gun.
You are not perfect. No, sir, none of us is. Oh no! Up there! The poor creature is caught in a bear trap. John, can you do something?
Let me see.
Cruelty of it. If you could pry it open, it may recover.
You're okay. Let me try and get you out of this.
Those contraptions. They are unforgiving and indiscriminate. You did it! It's free! A second chance at life.
Maybe. Long as that wound don't go bad.
Still, better to die free than in the jaws of a machine. Now, come on. We have further to ride.
Okay.
The men I'd like to show you, they could have set that trap.
Hunters? I've seen hunters, sir, and like I said, I've been one myself.
Hunting for food or skins is one thing, but dredging rivers, burning out forests, killing everything you find and leaving all but the most valuable parts to rot, that is who these men are. They are the rapaciousness of our financial markets let loose in the wilderness. A sign that our way of life has come to an end.
I see plenty of those signs.
Yeah, I do see myself in Evelyn instead. I acknowledge them.
Here they are. I will speak to them.
Are you sure that's a good
A very
idea?
sheltered academic. To a large extent, cowardly, even.
Are heathens! Ignoble savages! Animals! Shit, look! Look at what you... What's your problem? You're...
Hey!
Huh?
What?
You tougher than your... You tougher than your pal there? Hey!
Okay. Kevin says, for humans with sensitivity to the accidents, it's through no fault of their own. So they are entrusted to God's mercy. Yeah, I think so. Much like the principle behind baptism of desire.
This place...
In cases of aliens, they may have the rational image of God, but the physical inability to partake of the accidents of the Eucharist. So I imagine the same principle would apply to them.
Let's get you out of
Maybe.
here before more of them show up.
But
Yeah, they did knock off the hat. They deserved it.
Come on, let's go.
Hold on, let me grab my hat. It's very important I get it. Very important. This is Arthur's hat. Good old friend Arthur. Hey, where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? I want to catch up. Wait, where'd he go? Did he just disappear? I think he literally just despawned.
Slow now.
Good lord. Alright, well, alright, fair enough. It's about time for us to despawn too, because it's after midnight. So, let's call it there. Jeez. So, alright, that was a good thing to end on. I like I said, I see myself to a degree, Mr. The kind of overly sheltered and unfortunately the academic. It's a thing I struggle with. It's a self-image thing with, and it's. I don't see myself having a crisis and wandering off halfway across the country to live in the wilderness. That's fair, and also certainly not ending up does to. But I think it's something that a lot of modern folks have to wrestle with. It's this overcome the way things are. Anyway, like I said, it's been a very pensive stream this time. So hopefully we've all had some time to think of ourselves and think about but either way, hopefully I will see all of you guys next time. Again, if anybody left watching this, you are around in the area, let me know, and I'd be happy to let you know where our the barbecue I'm hosting for all my students and such tomorrow. If you'd like to swing by and say hello, I, of course, welcome. Just again, contact me directly, and we've only got like 12 hours until then, but maybe not. Let's see. In any case, come back Monday. We are starting Mass Effect 3. We just finished 2 and all of the DLC this week. We're on to Mass Effect 3, and we are into the thick of things there. Should be a good time. No Red Dead next Thursday because it is Thanksgiving, so absolutely happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We are doing, I am doing that, the plan is at least to do that live stream talk with Sean Malone of Foundation for Economic Education next Wednesday about free speech. So that'll be a good time as well. That should be really interesting and insightful. It'll be 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you are interested and want to stop by there, feel free, and I welcome you to it. Otherwise, Monday Mass Effect, Wednesday free speech talk, then next Monday back to Mass Effect, back into the normal schedule of things after Thanksgiving. So, happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and I will see you. Good night.